our customer. And the reason that you're our client, and I go on to explain this to them. Again, I'm off a little bit here, but I go on to explain that the reason you're a client is that we want to make sure that you understand how important you are to us. And now I'm going to go back into my telling them mode. Okay. And what we do, and the reason for that is that what are clients? Clients are people we do something extra for. Customers come here one day, they're the other. Clients are people we do extra for. Clients are people who get more value from what we do for them. Clients are also long-term. And then I also point out to them is that if every time that we use the term client, it also elevates your level in our mind. And there's nothing more important we can do in our business than elevate your level as our customers in your mind. So we talk about clients being the people that most people talk about the people who give them money. Now, going back to the DVD, they said in the Disney training, they said, what business is Disney in? Do you guys remember what business is Disney in? Entertainment? That's really close. The answer for their training is the business that Disney, what do they make? That's actually what they say. What business are we in? What do we make? What's that? Yeah, somebody said we make people happy. They're in the make people happy business. That's the business that Disney is in. What business are we in? Exactly. Please remember that. We are in the business to make people happy. Now remember, when people call us and they get off the phone, we really don't expect them to be singing zippity-doo-dah. But our job is to make people happy. And that's what your job is here too. I want to also cover, they said that Disney was incredibly good at making sure that people understand their role in the show. And what I want to do here is make sure that you understand our role in the show. And we only have 2 policies in our company. We have a lot of procedures. In fact, we have a lot of procedures. We only have, put that back up please and just leave it up for a little while. We only have 2 policies. First policy is we will do nothing illegal or unethical. Pretty obvious. The second policy that we have is to use your best judgment to take care of clients and customers. Now, does that mean we're just going to turn you loose and say, use your judgment? No, in fact, in our business, we have a whole lot of what we call make you happy job requirements. And the make you happy job requirements were either written up by a manager or written up by an individual, or in many cases, we got a team together to come up with the way we should do something, and they came up with the make you happy job requirement. And what we really expect out of you is to follow those make you happy job requirements, okay? So they're the written procedures for everything we do. But on the bottom of every make you happy job requirement is also this little statement here. This make you happy job requirement is designed to ensure we meet or exceed client and customer expectations. Perform exactly like the requirement unless you find it does not meet or exceed client and customer expectations. If you find it no longer meets or exceeds expectations, take care of the client, then you are responsible for helping to change it to what we and our clients need. This is where that policy comes in. Use your best judgment. This is what we've found works best. If you find out it doesn't work, and we give them some guidelines as to how much, they're not going to hire well, actually, I don't give them guidelines, but I expect you to. I would think you would, especially to start off. We don't expect them to hire a helicopter to take care of you and get your order there. But what we want you to do is follow this job requirement unless it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, what we really want you to do is use your best judgment to take care of the customer or the client, and then you're not off the hook by doing that. You need to help us change this. You need to help us change it to what we need. Okay, so their job is to say, I did this. This is what I'm going to do to take care of them. And by the way, Keith or Jerry or one of the other managers, this job requirement doesn't work, so this is what I did. Okay? So that's where we are able to do that, that area. Let's go back to the DVD for a minute if we can. Stu Leonard asks, what exactly does the customer want? What exactly does the customer want in our business? You have some guesses. You're just starting here, you don't know for sure, but what do you think the customers may want in our business? They want to be happy, they want satisfaction. What specifically do they want? Good product, their needs met, good value. When they call in, they want all of those things. And what's critically important for you to understand is that clients want a whole lot of different things. And different clients want different things. It's critically important to understand that. Some of our clients who call in want to get on the phone, place the order, get off the phone. I don't have time for that. Okay? Other clients call in and they want information. Other clients call in and they want to place the order and chit-chat a little bit. What's critically important for you to understand is that clients want different things. And by the way, this is the most important make you happy customer service secret. If you can get this one through to the people in your business, your customer service will improve. I'm 100% sure of that. Okay? But what's critically important here is that you put you into every client contact. What exactly does the customer want? They want a lot of different things, so what's the most important thing for you to do in our business is put you into every client contact. Now, and we do that by listening to customers. We talk, let me see. Now, let me give you a for instance. How many of you, have you ever read anything or seen anything by communication experts and tell us how much of communication is body language, tone, and the words you say? Have any of you seen any studies on that? How much is body language? Yeah. Body language, the experts say, is around 50%. Tone and intonation is 40%. And the actual words that you say are only 10%. So body language is 50%. Tone is 40%. The words that you say are only 10%. And so what's critically important for you to understand in our business, that when you say the right words, you've done only 10% of your job. When you say the right words, and this is what indifferent customer service is, folks, just saying the right words. When you say the right, make sure your people understand, but leave that up again, please. Understand that when they say the right thing, they've only done 10% of their job. So what's critically important is for you to put you into the customer contact. Let's take a look at that for just a minute and see what I mean by that. 7 words, 5 different meanings. I never said you stole the money. 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 5 different meanings from 7 words by putting tone and intonation into it. I need to, let's see. I need to move on. Let's get on. So I'm going to have to go get through a couple things here. Disney's most strictly enforced rule in the park is, anybody remember? You couldn't remember. No one is to ever see a masked character without their mask. Our most strictly enforced rule in our park is that it is never okay to give anything less than appreciative customer service to a client. In the DVD, they said that Disney was above all entertainment. It's important for you to know in our business that American Retail Supply is above all client service. And it's critical that you understand that only happy customers come back. And remember, the very last statement in the DVD that we just got done watching was by Stu Leonard, and Stu Leonard said Nobody walks in the door and says, what can I do for Stu Leonard today? They say, what can he do for me? And if I don't do it, they don't come back, and I don't blame them. Please understand that all the time when you're dealing with our customers, that it's our job to do what they need. Now, one of the things so that's the customer service that we're going to try to create. Now let's get on with the management system that actually supports that customer service and what that management system looks like. Remember in the In Search of Excellence video, they said they went out looking for examples of businesses doing it right in America. They went out and they found that this business does this right, this business does this right, business does this right, this business does this right. They didn't go out and look for management systems. And so we've been doing this, trying to do this customer service stuff and give this great customer service now from 1982 until 1992. But what we found is that we still did too many things wrong. We had very pleasant people, but we did too many things wrong. And that led to a lot of frustration in our business. So I developed this management system. So what I would like you to do as my new team member is number, if you would, well, and I do tell them that the management system, by the way, now actually creates Make You Happy customer service. What I'd like you to do, and I would like you to do it, is number on your piece of paper, please, 1 through 8. And answer this question. What are the 8 steps to solving a problem? Now, I'd planned to give you some time to do that, but I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm not a professional speaker. I don't have every word down. What are the 8 steps to solving a problem? Now, what you need to do is answer that question all by yourself. No help from anybody else. Can't look at anybody else's piece of paper. Think for yourself for 1 minute what that would look like in your mind. I don't want you to do it right now, but I would want you to do it if you were actually doing the training. How difficult that would be in your mind. What kind of answer you would come up with. Now, what I'd like you to do, and this is how I don't do it with every new employee or every new team member, but I did do it when I introduced this to the company, is I said, now let's assume that you're going to work on this in a group of 5 or 6 people. You and 4 or 5 others. You're going to work on the question, what are the 8 steps to solving a problem? And in this, you have 3 guidelines. Everybody must participate. It's everyone's job in the group to get everyone to participate. So in other words, if someone's not participating, it's your job to say, Bill, what do you think? Okay? And the third rule that we have in or guideline that we have in our meetings is that we need to come up with consensus. And consensus means that we can all agree that this is a great answer. Okay? We can all agree that this is a very good answer, but we don't have to all agree that we agree with every single thing in it. That's what consensus is. And think for just a minute what would happen if you did this, worked on that problem. What are the 8 steps to solving a problem with this in mind? That you needed to do this in this team. Think for just a second, if you would, about how that process would work in your own mind. Please do that. Okay. Now, the question I have for you is, which one of these ways gets better answer? How many of you think you're going to get a better answer to the 8 steps to solving a problem by working on it by yourself? Raise your hand. Nobody? That's surprising. Usually there's a couple. How many think you're going to get a better answer working on it in the group? Okay? How many, now, which one takes longer? Working on it, working by yourself and coming up with 8 steps, or getting consensus and talking about it and doing all of these other things? Which one takes longer? The group, of course. So can we afford to do this with everything that we're going to do in our business? Absolutely not. Okay? But on the important things, that's what we want to do. We want to get this group. Now, why did I ask, what are the 8 steps to solving a problem? The reason I asked, what are the 8 steps to solving a problem, is that it's just like the really important business decisions that you're going to make. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. There's some really bad answers, There's some really good answers, and there's everything in between. And when you're talking about a controversial situation in our business, or if we're talking about a big thing in our business, like how are we going to reset the store? There's no right answer or wrong answer. There's a lot of good things, there's a lot of bad things, and there's a lot in between. So that's why I asked the question, what are the 8 steps to solving a problem? Now let me talk about management theory. This is from all kinds of textbooks. Let's look at management theory. There's Theory X. Theory X says, I'm the owner, I'm the boss, I'm the manager. Do what I say. I built this company with my blood, sweat, and tears. Do what I say, don't ask any questions. Then there's Theory Y. Theory Y management says, I'm the owner, I'm the boss, I built this company with my blood, sweat, and tears. This is what I would like you to do. Tell me what you think, and I'll tell you whether it's okay or not. Now, as a new person at American Retail Supply, which would you rather work in? Would you rather work in X or Y? How many of you would rather work in X? 1. How many of you would rather work in Y? You want some say in your business. Yeah, okay. So, and that's exactly what I do with them. Everybody says Y, okay? Now, there's another theory, though. There's Z theory. Z theory says, I'm the owner, I'm the manager, I'm the boss. I built this company with my blood, sweat, and tears. I know a lot, and when we have something that's important for us, I understand that you know a lot also, and we're going to get everyone involved and come up with the answer that we should have. Now, as a new team member at American Retail Supply, you said you'd rather work in Y. Now, between Y and Z, how many would you rather work in Y? Raise your hand. Or Z? Yeah. Everybody says they want to work in Z. Now, what I tell them here is that if you would rather work in X or Y, you're probably in the wrong place. You need to go somewhere else. Okay? So, let's take a look at these again. Which gets better answers, Y or Z? How many think Y gets better answers? How many think Z? Okay? Now, this is where it's absolutely well, I'm going to wait 1 second for that one. If I think Z has a little bit better answer than Y, and I'm the owner, should I go with Y or Z? Y? Okay. Well, let me tell you, what I talk about is the fact that, yeah, I'm going to say what I think, but if the group comes up with a different answer than mine, and I think theirs is mine is still a little better than theirs, I'm going with Z. Why am I going with Z? Lose credibility. That's one reason I go with Z. Why else? Buy-in. Yo! Buy-in. Who needs to make it work? They do. If I tell them they got to do something they don't want to do, how dedicated are they to making it work? They're not. But even if I don't think it's as good, and I say, okay, let's go with that. Go out and make it work. How dedicated are they to making it work? They're totally dedicated to making it work. Okay? If it's theirs. They have told me that this is what we want to do. I've said, well, yeah, we can do that. And I do that. Do I do that? Team? Yes. Okay. Now, here's where freedom comes in for you and me. And now I love my job. And 13 years ago, I could have cared less about my job. If we have a problem and we're X theory, and I say it exactly like this to them. If we have a problem or an opportunity and we're X theory management, whose problem is it? If we have a problem and we're Y theory management, whose problem is it? If we have a problem and we're Z theory management, whose problem is it? Ours. That's where the freedom comes in. Okay? Now, and that's why this actually creates Make You Happy customer service. That's where the freedom comes in. That's where this, again, creates Make You Happy customer service. That's why I can go on vacation and come back and things are running better than when I went on vacation in the first place. Okay? Now, let's talk about, but we're not quite done. When do we do this? Whenever you're working on one of those big issues that will get better answers when you get a group of stakeholders involved. The other time you do this is when you have an issue that's causing conflict or problems in your business. You also do it when the results of what you decide will significantly affect another group. If what the salespeople are deciding is going to affect the warehouse people, we have one of these. The other thing we do is when someone asks for one. They say, you know, I've tried to get this changed and nobody will change it. Can't we get a group together and find out the best way to do it? And that's when we do them. How often do we have these anymore? Group? Not very often, okay? But we did have them a lot to start with, okay? Now, quickly again, if you're going to go out and buy something, a new car, a new SUV, a new pickup, a new whatever, what are you going to do when you go out and buy that? This is an actual list of things that came up when I did this with one time we had about 4 people that we hired at the same time. And what do you come up with? And this is their list. They started on the left. Price, reliability, stereo, air conditioning, power locks, sunroof, color, tires, interior, etc. And they went all down that and then down the other side. And then I said, let's define a couple terms, continuous improvement and breakthrough. Continuous improvement is just that. Better this year than last year, better this week than last week, better today than yesterday. Breakthrough is something that takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of research and development. Let's go through and let's take a look at these things that people look at when they're buying a vehicle and that you told me that you look for. Price. Is that a continuous improvement or is that a breakthrough? Continuous improvement. Reliability. Continuous improvement. Stereo. Now, making the stereo in the first place was a breakthrough, right? Putting it in a car, continuous improvement. Air conditioning, continuous improvement. Power locks, sunroof, all of them were continuous improvement. I had to actually ask them if they wanted good gas mileage finally. This was before prices went up on gas. And they said, yeah, I want that. And I want power. No, they did not want the 61 Volkswagen that I had in the late 60s that could go 15 miles an hour up most hills. They wanted gas mileage and power. And yeah, so that is a breakthrough. So what's critically important here is that what makes as much difference and even more